Welcome to Comics with Dan. Welcome to Monday Night Comics. I having some audio issues, but I think I should be okay. I think my microphone's working, so I think I should be in pretty good shape. Just making sure that my headphones are working okay. It's kind of it's going to be a recurring theme this evening where I'm not well prepared for the stream tonight, just because I didn't have much time to prepare during the day today, but it's no big deal. So I missed last week because I got busy with work, but the but the I kept the title and the everything the same because I figured I was going to want to talk about this DC Sonic crossover, and it ended up being just as good, if not better, than I thought it was going to be. So, let me. I'm going to publish my list of books I'm talking about tonight. And we'll probably explore a little bit more because, like I said, I truthfully wasn't super prepared. So we're going to present and we're going to take a look at League of Comic Geeks. So the first one, and it's the one that's on like the title of the stream and everything, is this second run of the DC Sonic crossover. It's called the Metal Legion. I can only imagine that. Well, so like really the combination of like Lex Luthor and Dr. Eggman, which you see at the end of the last crossover, is where this sort of Metal Legion name comes from. It's the two of them together, and so you can even see on some of the covers. So the A cover doesn't have them, but then this C cover has the two of them in the background there, and then this D cover, which I got a copy of that one, has Robotnik in the Lex Luthor suit. This one was just one of the coolest covers because, I mean, in the actual crossover, you see Shadow Batman, you see Sonic Flash, Knuckles Superman, Tails Cyborg, Amy Wonder Woman, and Silver Green Lantern, right? But then on this one, you've got Blaze as Starfire. You have Cream as Supergirl with Cheese as Crypto. You have Rouge as Catwoman, Big as Aquaman, and then Eggman as Lex Luthor. So this was just such a great cover. So I actually got the A cover and this cover. Let's see if we have any. Yeah, so we have some preview pages we can just take a look at. And so what's cool about this is they kind of like right off the bat, the worlds of the Justice League and Sonic the Hedgehog have been linked. Like the first line of this crossover, it just completely like opens up the worlds, right? In the last one, there was like a lot of difficulty going back and forth, but now they have these portals that go through. And so you see right here, Big went fishing and he caught Aquaman. You see he got Froggy on his shoulder there, which is great. The two of them running. What I like here is that these portals that go in between are called Lex Egg, which makes it pretty obvious. And they actually reference that later in the issue, how on the nose that is. And it's interesting because like later in this issue, like you see the conflicting styles of Eggman and Lex Luthor, because Eggman wants to be like showy and like Lex Luthor's a little more tactical, right? And so Lex Luthor's like, "Are you sure we should be like flaunting this much?" And Eggman's like, "Oh yeah, it's fine." And it's gonna be interesting. I hope that and Ian Flynn gets Eggman very well, so I doubt that this will happen. But I hope that they don't make it a dynamic between the two that just has like Lex Luthor is the brains and Eggman kind of is the fumbling idiot. So, but either way, um, no, I mean this is yeah. So it was really well done. Like you can see all of the uh, all of the characters that show up in this, um, and each character like really gets a really great kind of introduction or like being brought back in. I mean, so like just to even kind of go down the list, right? Is that like Silver, is talking with John Stewart and basically talking about how much he dislikes Guy Gardner, which is just like what's more Green Lantern than complaining about Guy. Um, the the other the next one, um, let me think about this. I'm trying to do this kind of off of memory, but so like Shadow meets Damian Wayne, right? Which is great. The two of them kind of banter a bit, and their dynamic is honestly it might even be better than Shadows and Batman's. Possibly the best is Charmy and like if you haven't read it at this point, like you should really just go get it. But at one point, Charmy actually joins Hive, like the terrorist organization, and he said that Brother Blood told him that Hive is a club for insects, and that Blaze can't join because she's a cat. And then they're like, Charmy, like Hive is a terrorist organization, and he's like, they're bad guys. It's really funny. And then the point where Supergirl and Cream meet each other is too funny too. Just the reactions that you see it's there's not I guess not a ton of substance. I mean, they set up the problem fairly quickly, right? It's that these portals appeared overnight, and it's pretty obvious that it's Lex Luthor and Eggman. Um, and like it takes them no time to figure that out. But then the the rest of the issue is spent kind of not reintroducing, but just getting everyone kind of comfortable with the big players, right? And so um it was a lot of fun to read. I really enjoyed it. Plus the covers are great too. Yeah. Now, this is not one that I expected to like as much as I did. Batman number 9. So I like it's the GCPD being after Batman is nothing new, right? I mean, we've seen it plenty of times before. It seems to kind of go back and forth where they're either helping him or they're hunting him down or whatever. So I wasn't sure like if Fraction was going in the right direction with this because it kind of felt like a bit overdone. Um, but the best part or like the that was just so well executed in my opinion, right? Like he starts out like essentially they're all hunting down like the Bat family bunkers and the GCPD led by Vandal Savage with the sort of blessing of Mayor Isley, which is I thought it was interesting that Bruce actually called her that and not just like Poison Ivy. Um but so they're hunting down these bunkers, and the Bat family needs to go out and get things out of these bunkers before the GCPD gets their hands on them. And um, there's also like some nice moments in there between Bruce and Damien, um, where Bruce is trying to kind of put being a father over being Batman, which is a nice dynamic. Um, but I don't want to spoil too much of the issue because I highly recommend that you read it. And so, I mean, it says the cover says one will fall, like we don't know who it is. Like we already know from which like solicits just ruin stories sometimes, but it was still so good. Like we knew it was Barbara Gordon, right? Because there's literally a series coming out this week called Barbara Gordon Breakout, and the solicit says spinning from the pages of Batman #9. So who do you think the one who's going to fall is? Um, but honestly, the fact that I sort of knew it was going to happen, but still was just like almost in shock at how good it was, just shows how good it was because I didn't need the element of surprise. Um, just like the scene, I guess is what you call it, the pages where sort of the plan goes into action in regards to Barbara kind of getting taken down. She basically ends up like rescuing Stephanie from getting caught by the GCPD. Um, and it's just the dialogue's perfect. And this is the most personality that Barbara has had in ages, right? Like don't get me wrong, like I really like how um I like when Barbara is with Dick Grayson in Bloodhaven. Um, and I like them together, but like she really did get relegated to the sidelines quite a bit in Nightwing. And that I think that on one hand that's okay because like it's a Nightwing book, right? It's not a Batgirl book. But when there's not another book that's giving her the spotlight or a piece of the spotlight, I think that makes it a little more challenging to see the only time she's in a book is where she's like a sideline player. And here she is not a sideline player. She is on the front lines and ready to go. Um yeah, I mean, let me see if we got any previews of this. Like this was just so good. Yeah, so it's time to change tactics. Why isn't this working? Oh, something happened. I don't know why this isn't working. Yeah, so look, there's Barbara. She's shredding evidence, ripping out hard drives. What's going on here? Yeah. Also, a cool part of this. What is going on? Why isn't this letting me scroll? Um, I don't know. Having some more technical difficulties. Truthfully, this didn't get the ratings that I thought it would. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Stephanie had a reaction to like Tim being in a relationship that she was not happy. And that's like the first time she's had any kind of reaction to that, which is great. Um, but yeah, no, Batman #9 was fantastic. Those two are like really the only ones that I read over the last week. I did read, or I'm in the process of reading Doctor Strange of Asgard, and it's not too bad. I I like the murder mystery aspect of it, but I don't know that the execution is all there. I think some of it's kind of like goofy, and not like in a fun way. Like, just for example, right? Like the one thing about it is that like Loki gets framed for this murder, and he, like, Doctor Strange doesn't want to tell Thor because he doesn't want to ruin their relationship, which is like the dumbest reason ever. Like that makes no sense to me. Um and then that's what you have to use to suspend your belief that he doesn't just tell Thor, right? Um so that kind of ruins it a bit, but either way, so I think I'm either done with that or just about done with that because I actually know who the murderer is. But I don't remember exactly how it ends. So I think I might have another chapter or so left. But then I do have a bunch of library books that I need to get. I also, and so keep an eye out for these videos. I recently from Fantagraphics got a Atlas new Atlas Comics library called Journey into Weird Worlds, I believe is what it's called. Which is a good one. It's pre-code horror, which a lot of those are. And then I also today came in the mail um, a collection of Gil Kane comics, which he's one of the all-time greats. Really looking forward to putting those out there and doing a video on those. So here we have Absolute Batman number 20, which is basically where we left number 19. Um, where we left number 19, we have Slade Wilson is like the guy tasked with taking down Batman, and he recruits his group of Robins, which I think is a great twist because obviously like rivalry in um the big rivalry in like the main universe is Dick Grayson and Slade Wilson. Well, in this one, Dick like works for Slade Wilson in this context. Um and so like this is a great cover where you've got all the Robins, giant mech suit, motorcycles. Let's take a look at the preview. And I don't know if that's okay. So we've got a Joker thing going here. That is horrifying looking. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't read the Joker. I didn't read the Joker arc of this. Let's look at this. The program hasn't even launched yet, and Gotham seems to have fallen in love with the Robins. Everyone has their favorite. So, what do you think is the secret to their popularity? They're the opposite of Batman. These brave young women have each suffered great personal tragedy, yet they use it as motivation to make the world better. Whatever dark forces created the Batman has chosen to gleefully lash out at Gotham through terror and violence. He's an agent of chaos, a cowled prince of crime. That's interesting. But now the city has finally seen his true. He turns it off. Dr. Crane believes Bruce to be susceptible. Oh, yeah. Okay. So uh, for those, yeah. So like they think that he killed Jim Gordon. You see, did we as a league officially update this? Oh, geez. Oh, and I forgot Absolute Scarecrow's popping up here. All right. Well, I don't know if we need to make it official, but yeah. So very excited for Absolute Batman this Wednesday. Um, it's gonna be a good one, and I might even be more excited for this one. So here's like what I said: leaping from the pages of May's Batman #9 to the next level. So Barbara Gordon is in jail and has to break out. Oh, and look at that. We've got all kinds of birds of prey in here. Um, yeah. I mean, like this is going to be so good. This preview has been in a handful of books. Yeah, that's awesome. Barbara Gordon breakout. Yeah. No, I mean this is gonna be such a good one. I'm really excited for it. Um, only 6,800. Like I like Mariko Tamaki. She's written some good stuff, I think. Um, next on the list here we have Blood and Thunder #13. This like continues to be fantastic. Um I love that it's like an actual ongoing. I can't believe, like, given the fact that the poll numbers don't seem to be that strong, I guess, like, because it's a Kirkman backed book that, um, like, Skybound's not going to cancel a Kirkman book until he's ready for it to be done. But I I think it's really well done. It's just, it doesn't appear to be selling all that well. Um, but Yeah, this has been awesome. What I really like about it is that um, they don't keep blood in one place for too long. They let her kind of, you know, stretch out a bit and go different places, um, and she has this personality that's like a lot of times I find a bit annoying, where like how like edgy are you trying to be type of thing, but I feel like they really strike a good balance with her. So definitely recommend picking that one up if you haven't been. Um, we have next. This is a good week. We've got Captain America #11. Um, if I recall correctly, I really liked #10. Yeah, #10 was great. Um, and like Chip Zdarsky, and it's not surprising because he wrote a a really great um, Invaders run. It was a 12 issue limited series, and and it was awesome. It was so good. He really gets the character, so it's no surprise that he is writing Cap so well here. Um, and like the mix with what's going on with Red Hulk, and again, I'm really not sure how this all plays into Armageddon. Um, I'm really not sure. I'm looking forward to kind of seeing where that goes. Oh man. So this one has Captain America, this cover has Captain America in place of George Washington crossing the Delaware, but with these like skeleton crew. That's crazy. I feel like something big's gonna happen in one of these books, whether it's this or the Wolverine Weapons of Armageddon. Um, it feels like something big's gonna happen soon. I mean, right now, like in the pages of Captain America, we're just seeing Cap sort of fighting against Salvation, who wants to be the next Doctor Doom. And that's why I'm just not sure. Like there was a betrayal in the last issue, by the way, which I really liked. Um, so definitely just like start from the beginning of this. It's worth it. Um, but yeah, no, definitely thumbs up on that one. The Fury of Firestorm #1 was awesome because I have no idea what's happening. Like Ronnie Raymond, right? Which I'm gonna be honest, I kind of thought that they had moved on from Ronnie Raymond and were using I guess who is it? Jason Rush. Is that the other? Yeah, I think that's what it is. But the first issue of this was really good. Um and like Jeff Lemire like rarely misses, if ever. And and just like the ability that he's that or the he's keeping you on your toes, right? You don't know what's going to happen next in this. And like it's it's sort of mind bending, but at the same time it's still easy to digest. So like you don't I definitely didn't feel lost in the first issue, but I definitely felt like what is going on. So this looks like a bit of an origin. The art's fantastic. Yep, and then we get Pittsburgh shout out because Ronnie Raymond's from Pittsburgh. C student at the University of Pittsburgh. That's funny. Like this art is great. Like so when they're talking about like when they're doing flashbacks, um Rafael De La Torre and Marcelo Maiolo use a like a throwback style. Um and even this, right? Like you look at the lettering and like the boxes, they're not uniform. And during these flashbacks, so and I like Lucas Gattoni's a great letterer. He's done a lot of good stuff. But like this is going to be so good. I can't wait for this. Oh, and then yeah, so like Firestorm's one of those characters where uh his origin or his background is a bit of a hodgepodge because he's been messed with so much. But this will be, I guess, another opportunity for that to be fleshed out a bit. So that should be good. And that's coming out this week too. And we have Space Ghost #11. Tempest the Time Master with that last issue was really, really well done. Um, and we get to see at the end of the last issue, we saw a handful of, um, I guess, friends, aka villains, from earlier in this second volume. So, really looking forward to this. It it is sort of it is sort of interesting to see the sort of pattern that David Pepos is following. Like he does these 1 to 2 issue art or stories, which I think is great. That there is an overall story tying everything together, which I really like. And then like the pattern that we've seen from the first 12 issues to now this set of 12 issues is that it gets followed up with a sort of all the villains team up and Space Ghost and crew have to defeat all of them. Um, which I mean, I guess at this point it is a little predictable, but honestly, it's well executed, so I don't mind at all that I already know what's going to happen. So or not already know what's going to happen, but like I'm kind of not surprised that they all showed up. So Transformers. Um, so we have a spoiler variant. Anytime there's a spoiler variant, um, is always exciting because it means that there's something important enough for them to put on a cover, but also important enough for them to hide it. So, um, what's interesting here is that we're getting. It looks like we're going back to Cybertron instead of whatever's going on Earth. Because it sees that we have Elita ones, which is now Elita Prime, by the way. I don't know if that's labeled as Elita Prime. Yep, Elita Prime. There she is. And like a lot of them left Optimus alone on Earth. So that one's also coming out this week. Even though I've had my issues with Transformers, like I'm gonna keep getting it because I'm excited to support the Energon universe. But if you're not like trying to get all the Energon universe books, like to be honest, you can probably skip it. Um, Final order cutoff tonight. Batman number 10. Um, definitely, um, definitely approve of this, especially after how number 9 went down. Um, and so I feel like 10's got to follow it up pretty nicely. This one I think is a next level book. Yes, next level. We've got a Dead Man book. Oh man, it's a Dead Man book with the Ice Cream Man creators. Oh man. The dead man enters the next level. In the milliseconds following his murder, the soul of shifty circus aerialist Boston Brand was commandeered by the goddess Rama Kushna, who deputized the erstwhile performer's ghost with a sacred spectral assignment, the custodian of all souls. Now Brand floats begrudgingly through this blue-green purgatory we call Earth, upholding the laws of spiritual math and protecting humanity from evil, even if they can't see or hear him. Open up to this new era of DC's most lively deceased superhero, the Dead Man, in a story about life, death, and everything in between, replete with paranormal activity, possessions, and a profusion of other poignant peculiarities. Is there a There's no preview. I was thinking to myself today, um, that I need to have less books on my pull list. And what I'm going to do is add this to my pull list. And then I will need to find somewhere else to cut back because that's too good to pass up on. Far too good. The last one that we have here, and we'll take a look, see if we can take a look at some of the other ones, but Concrete Stars Over Sand. This is the first new concrete book in years. And so I am pretty excited for that. I've never pulled a concrete book before because, like I said, it's been years, and I didn't even get. I don't think that the last time that there was a new concrete book on stands, I don't think I was even reading comics. So, um, yeah, I'm excited for this one. Um, it should be good. We got final order cutoff for that tonight, and releases in June. Now, I want to see. I didn't get a chance to add more to this list. So I want to see if I can browse by week. Other refinements. No, I want to try to advanced options because I don't want ones that are this week. I want ones that are browse by final order cutoff. There we go. Okay. So now we look at next week, right? Because some people are going to be watching this during the week rather than um, live, which is fine. And we're going to take a look. So Amazing Spider-Man 31. I can't believe that they're that far. I guess they've been double shipping Amazing Spider-Man the entire time. They must have been because I feel like it took years to get Zeb Wells into that like 30s number, right? Um I don't know what Bleeding Hearts is, but it's a DC book, which is strange. Denise Camp, okay. Nightwing, like that looks great. That's a great looking cover. Waters and Cowan explore more folklore. Yeah, so like the last couple issues of Nightwing were very like horror and um like it really plays into like Dan Waters' strengths. And I saw some people complaining about that, and it's like let's get a fresh take on it. Like it's good. This one's kind of funny because it's just because like the political side of things, right? Like um I feel like a lot of the more left leaning folks that are going to read this are going to be just all thumbs up for a serial killer that's killing billionaires. Um, not that not that I have any kind of love for billionaires, but I certainly don't think that they should die. Um, but it does sound like a cool premise either way, right? So I'm interested to see the takes that we see on this, both from people both left leaning and right leaning, because I think it'll be interesting to have that factor into to the opinions. So um yeah, let's see what else we have here. Um what happened? I thought what happened to Amazing Spider-Man 31? I don't know. Either way, got Lobo number 3, Deathstroke 3, GI Joe, Wolverine Weapons of Armageddon. I'm liking what's going on in Superman Unlimited. We've got John Kent is now Tomorrow Man, and uh, time displaced John Kent is running around. So we get young John Kent, which is cool. They're doing some cool stuff in the Superman books now with him actually like being missing. And I love the fact like there have been like I feel like there have been zero hints as to where he is at this point, which is great. You even have in Action Comics, you have Booster Gold, Martian Manhunter, and Mary Marvel looking for him, and they still like there's still no indication as to where he is, at least not that I've seen. So, we got Shredder. Uh, this Moonstar looked pretty good. I didn't realize that that was like an existing character. I thought that was something new. Um, of the Earth. Yeah, so this is one that I'll be pulling. Um, oh, we're back at releases on April May 20th. That's why. Yeah, because if I click in on something, it's gonna change to back to browse by week. That's annoying. Well, either way, of the Earth looks like it's gonna be a really good one. Okay, so we look at 520. So we're back at actual final order cutoff. Let's see. Dork. I doubt that's going to get the same level of value as the number one issue, but that's fine. I'm interested to see, like, I might need to see if I can get the trade of this Emperor Aquaman. It's kind of cool that they switched the title to from Aquaman to Emperor Aquaman. Uh, Twilight Zone. That looks pretty interesting. We got Space Ghosts. We got Blood and Thunder. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Saturday Morning Adventures with some Casey Jones on the front. Nothing wrong with that. Like the first volume of Kaya. And we're getting into more specific stuff. Okay, let's see what's going on the 27th here. Absolute Batman with Absolute Two-Face. Look at that. The top 6 most pulled books for this is Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman, Absolute Martian Manhunter, Absolute Flash, Nightwing, and then Absolute Green Arrow. Insane. Got some more Captain America. Oh yeah, Batman Superman World's Finest. It's going back into, I think it's referring to a specific Elseworld story where it's not Dark Knights of Steel, but it's like similar to that, which could be cool. That's a great Batwoman cover. We got G.I. Joe, Infernal Hulk. I need to catch up on Hulk. I haven't been reading that. Anything else we got here? Nothing's really jumping out to me other than the fact that it seems like Super Creepshow. That's the X-Men, that iconic X-Men cover. Nothing here is really sticking out to me. We got some new Dick Tracy. That's exciting. But nothing. The only thing that stands out to me is just the pure volume of great books that DC is putting out, and for them to be putting out all these incredible books, and then on top of that, turning around and doing next level where they're taking obscure characters and like giving fans of those characters what they want. It's like, I mean, you got to wonder with like how many books they put out, like what's their hit percentage on these at this point, like just the way that they're doing now, right? Like they weren't always like this, right? And there are times where Marvel's the leader and where DC is the leader, but it's very clear right now that DC is winning, right? And it doesn't have to be a competition, right? I mean, like we all win when anyone's publishing good books, right? And the fact that DC is publishing so many good books means that we as readers are winning. As long as you don't uh force yourself to only read one publisher or to stay away from a certain publisher or whatever. Which is why it's always good to try out books from a publisher you might not always read. So like that's why, like, I mean, a little while back I was pulling Miles Morales. I'm pulling Captain America right now. I'll occasionally pull like I pull several Image books. I'll occasionally pull a Dark Horse book. It's good to kind of diversify and just remember that like just because you really like one publisher, or if you haven't liked books from a publisher, that doesn't mean that they're not going to put out books that you like. It's usually good to go by creative team rather than just publisher. So I'm interested. I want to see this Batman Superman World's Finest. Oh, it's because it's in relation to Warlord, which is kind of cool. It's Travis Morgan, former Air Force pilot who became the Warlord after crash landing in the strange land of Skartaris. And so Batman and Superman are heading over there. Came out in 1975. Mike Grell was the creator. That's interesting. And he just said, Dan HPSK comic fan. Dan Moore went all in into the next level with that Supergirl movie variant. Let's see which one he's talking about. Holy smokes, that is great. That's interesting because you often see the criticism of Dan Mora that the faces look all alike, but he actually made that look like Ally Milcock, and I don't know the actress that is playing this character, so that one's harder to say. But I also just want to point out that Adrian Gutierrez can do a great cover. Like, it's time to unchain Dan Mora. Is he doing? Did he do the A cover for this? Yeah. Yeah. Now, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I love his covers, but it's just like I don't know how he does it all. Yeah. No, I mean I like this variant too. Doesn't really have anything to do with the book, but it's a great cover. So, uh, this Hush 2, Hush Tua, as we've heard. I don't know. I don't think I got that one. That one actually came out though. And then did I not get this one either? Yeah, I mean, I think that I might have like called it quits on this one. Just 3.5 was probably pretty generous. You hate to see it, right? Because I know it's become popular to dislike Hush, but to me, I feel like it's still a really good story. And for them to kind of like bring it back from the dead and like it's unnatural. And the fact that Jim Lee has delayed this book by like I mean it's over a year at this point. And like we're on the old numbering, right? So like this is Batman 163. We're on issue number 10 of the next Batman run. I'm interested, like they're calling so like does the legacy number update? That's an interesting point. We're saying that this is legacy 928, but what is the Batman book that just came out? What legacy number is that? I don't know if it says on here. It does not. That's a really interesting point. I wonder how the legacy number, it might just be based on when it's released. So the legacy numbering of the Hush Batman books might just continuously change as they come out. So, but all right. Well, it's a shorter one tonight, but that's what I have. And I appreciate everyone watching and hope you all have a good evening. Make sure you like the video. Make sure that you subscribe. Helps get the word out. And I'd love to be able to just kind of chat on the stream and talk with people about comics. So the more viewers, the better. But thanks everyone and have a good evening.